My in-laws, 65F70M, organized my kitchen although I, 28F, specifically stated not to. I feel my privacy is violated and I don't know what to do. Thoughts? Update 1. More background. I had a huge number of answers. Thank you so much. I'll be able to have a conversation with my husband tomorrow and will let you know what happened. Just some background information that I felt unnecessarily to share until now. My husband has extremely nosy and controlling parents. They control all 3 of their children, almost managed to completely estrange the oldest girl. When I met my husband, it wasn't so obvious, but since then, it's clear. The fact that they paid for their tuition makes them entitled to tell them what to do every step of the way. They overrule every partner choice of the middle girl and tried to do the same with my husband and I. They have hours-long screaming arguments over the phone on a regular basis. They have an opinion about the fucking everything, and whatever we do can't be right. Even though we live in another country, they manage to reach out with their unsolicited advice. My husband was the main person for this bullying, but since we're married, I also get some shit time to time. For a while, I politely declined any kind of controlling behavior and advice. What shall I buy and not to buy? What shall I do and not do? What shall I study, etc. Now I choose silent treatment. I play deaf and don't answer if I get unsolicited advice and let my husband deal with it. Until now, 10 out of 10 times he protected me like a bulldog, and it ended up in a fight between them. 3 weeks ago, they visited us. They stayed for a week and managed to argue through the whole visit, screaming and shouting and crying involved. I had to have an emergency session with my psychologists, and I started to have heart palpitations from stress. My family is not perfect either, but they are extremely loving and supportive people. I experienced this much drama until now in my life combined what they did in a week. I lost sleep and started having night terror again. My husband told me he appreciated how patient I was and how kindly I behaved while they were here, although they gave me every reason not to. He'd also told me that since his dad's cancer, he is depressed. To be honest, since I know this man, he has the same mean attitude towards his wife and children. I think even my husband feels helpless and is searching for excuses. Anyway, after they left 10 days later, I also left to my family to visit them and celebrate Mother's Day and my dad's birthday. Then my husband's parents decided to come back for another week while I'm not there. I had no issue with that at all until I realized they reorganized my kitchen. The only thing I told my husband not to touch. I even told my husband that I told my psychologist how threatened and violated I feel with his mom bringing up my kitchen being shitty. It was literally a symbol of my apartment being violated, not just by repeated arguments, but by them telling me I do whatever I want here. I wanted them to leave so I can fix it with my husband. Instead, I got it fixed by her, and they just retired a month ago. Now I am terrified they'll keep coming back every month. I have a long home office job. My office is the guest room, and I study for CFA Level 1, which is a crazy exam. I told them not to do it 2 weeks ago, repeatedly for 3 days when they kept telling me that my kitchen is badly organized, and they made a good job organizing their daughter's kitchen very well. I kept turning them down nicely, but because my husband 35M agreed with them, I told him that we can do it the way we like it when I am back from my holiday. Then I left to visit my parents and they managed to organize my kitchen without my consent. I feel infuriated and also embarrassed that I care, but it's our kitchen, not theirs, and I said no, therefore it should have been a no, and my husband and I could have done it instead of them. How shall I react? They only visit us 2 to 3 times a year and they stay for 2 weeks. I don't want to grudge, but I feel like they went behind my back to show power and upper hand. They have a strong tendency to give advice and keep telling us what to do, and this is the tip of the iceberg for me. Any thoughts?
How do I'm 45, change the power dynamic with my wife? F45, after being married 20 plus years. Throwaway because wife is on Reddit. TLDR, how do I change so that I only put the same effort into the relationship that my wife does? My wife and I have been together for 26 years, married for 23. We have 4 kids, teenage to adult. I'm coming to the realization that my wife doesn't really like me. I know she loves me, but it seems like I'm the last thing on her list most of the time. I, on the other hand, can't stop thinking about her and ways to make her life easier or more enjoyable. I feel like somewhere along the line something changed, and now I'm more of a chore to her than anything else. I try not to be too sensitive or read too much into things, but it's pretty hard not to pick up on the clues. A few examples. Sexy time, while it still happens, is only when I initiate, and when I do, it's pretty much the standard pillow princess kind of deal. I try to do all the things she likes and in return, I get nothing. We've had conversations about the things I like lingerie, but I never get that. If she's on her period, she never offers to do anything, it's just quit for a week. She doesn't ever have to do anything, of course. I would just think that she would want to, at least sometimes, if for no other reason than it would make me happy. lately. She also has become quite addicted to social media. She spends most of her time scrolling Facebook and Instagram. It's the first thing she does when she wakes up, spends 30 to 45 minutes scrolling before even getting out of bed. I can be laying right next to her the whole time, and not so much as a hello. It's the only thing she does anymore after she gets home from work. No other hobbies or interests. They've all dropped off along the way. If I say anything about it, she gets very defensive and I drop it. Her eyes light up and she gets pretty happy to talk to all the kids, which is awesome. I just wish I had the same effect. If I didn't actively engage her in conversation, we could go all day or longer without talking. She pretty much has zero interest in anything I like. As a matter of fact, as soon as I get into something that she might like, it very quickly turns into something she doesn't. If I do stop talking to her, then I'm the one being moody and grumpy, which just gives her more reason to not want to interact with me. I've tried to talk to her about these things, and she sometimes makes me think I might have gotten through to her, but nothing ever changes. That just hurts worse because I get my hopes up thinking I might have finally had a breakthrough, only to see nothing change. I'm not perfect. I know I have my flaws and faults, but she genuinely is the most important thing to me, and I just want to feel like I'm getting that in return. I doubt she's cheating and divorce is off the table, so how do I go through the rest of my life caring a bit less and change that power dynamic so that I don't feel like we have an 80 to 20 relationship? Sorry for the long post. I even left out a bunch of things. I'll answer any questions and provide more details if people need them.
Father-in-law M58 is forcing a couch on my wife F32, and I am 32 that we didn't ask for. How to handle. So last night my FIL texted my wife, her dad in case this is confusing, asking us if we wanted this couch from one of his clients. It's a pull-out couch with a mattress and it's really nice. We both said no because it's heavy and we don't feel like doing another house project right now hauling it in and out. And there's nothing wrong with our 2 couches we already have, which he also gave us in the same fashion. We also have extra beds. Apparently this is unacceptable. We're lazy and stupid if you don't this couch. He just wants us to have nice things. So I was content to just ignore them, go on with my life. But after we put the kids to bed, my wife's mom texts her and asks her to come over. Apparently while she was over there, relating to her about taking this couch, and I don't know what exactly was said. So now they're dropping the couch off Thursday. I have to put one of my current couches out by the road, and they aren't even helping me move it in. I have to ask my 16-year-old brother for help. When I asked my wife what happened, she said they want us to have nice things. They think we're bad with money because we live in one of their houses, and they don't like that you said it's too heavy. So I tried to stand my ground, and my wife is pleading with me to just take the couch, get rid of one of the others, and drop it and move on, no further incidents. My FIL is also my landlord who I pay rent to every month in case that's changing anything in your guys' minds. I just think this whole thing has been extremely disrespectful, especially to my wife because she thinks her dad is calling her stupid. His approval means nothing to me, but the world to her, and I don't know how to handle this in a way that won't rock the boat too much, but makes it clear I don't want anyone treating my family like this. Advice? Thoughts? Why can't he take the couch? He's so passionate about it. That's what I want to know too. Update. I've just spoken with my father-in-law and everything was thrown out on the table with my wife in the room. We said something along the lines of we're going to take this couch because you're clearly very passionate about it, but we weren't asking for a couch nor looking for one, so please don't keep doing this. I was kind of snippy throughout the interaction because I still found him to be out of line, but when we were done telling him we would take the couch, I also ended by saying he needed to apologize to his daughter for calling her stupid. She didn't deserve that at all and we were having a totally normal day beforehand. He gave her a hug and gave what I think was a heartfelt apology, said he was out of line, and hopefully that's just the end of weird furniture drama in my life. Thanks for your helpful comments, unhelpful comments, meme ones, funny ones.